What's up, Internet? We are back with the Action SMS Advanced Mega Cart containing no Mega Drive games, but containing Game Gear and SMS games. Allegedly 100 on the Game Boy Advance. Last time we played some not-so-great ports, and we found one or two surprising hits, but still not a great pull. This time, as we get to the bottom of the list, thus telling you that we're getting close to the end, we move on to Super Smash TV. Now, I'm not super familiar with Super Smash TV. I know of Smash TV. I know about its sequel, Total Carnage, which was a kind of different game. But we're going to see what this one's all about. I know it's a top-down shooter, and it's going to be really, really hard. And this is a game that does not have a twin stick, so this is going to be, I'm guessing, very much like Berserk. But we're going to play Smash TV like our good old hero Johnny Cage did one time. Okay, so the whole thing about this game is run around shooting a whole bunch. Okay, I'm confused as to how this... Okay, so there's a strafe button, and then shooting basically just happens in the opposite direction in which you run. And then you get ganked by a whole bunch of guys. Okay. Also, there's some visual bugs. Okay, so now we get a map of where we need to go. There's some extra places we can go. Now, it's up to your discretion whether you want to try and get the extra points, as well as other stuff. Now, if this were a proper version of this game, no, proper being a stretch, but, you know, if this was, like, you know, the proper arcade version, there would be voice clips when the announcer guy goes on here, making, like, RoboCop references and stuff, if I recall. And, if I recall, he's also the final boss, but he's also like a reskin of the first boss, which is a little bit odd. Also, fun fact, he looks exactly like a guy I used to work with. He looks like a guy I used to work with, and we used to talk a lot about games. Like, he was a big fan of the Gomon games and Zelda, and, I remember he borrowed my copy of Brutal Legend for, like, over a year. That was fun. But seriously, I knew a guy who looks exactly like the, also plug for the next game, but for the Smash TV announcer, I knew a guy who looks exactly like him. Oh, we got spread shot. But this is not exactly what I would call the best version of Smash TV. I'm not the biggest fan of Smash TV. Smash TV is a game that is designed to basically be unfair, as were tons of, you know, arcade games back in the day. But honestly, if you wanted a version of this that felt a little bit more fair, I would suggest Robotron 2084. Or a slightly more mechanically janky game would be Berserk, or its sequel, which was, what was it? Frenzy. Yes, Frenzy. I remember that. And I only remember that because it was shown in a Chuck Norris movie at one point, which was Code of Silence, I believe. And the weird thing is, I've never seen anything with Chuck Norris in it, and I know that. But, yeah. Anyway. This is... I prefer Berserk, I prefer Robotron, I prefer any number of things to this, and, you know, you can get, like, 1,000,001 different twin-stick shooters nowadays for basically nothing on any digital platform, including, like, mobile phones and stuff, so... This is hardly the most necessary game to have. But if you want to see SMS version of this, it's a little bit choppy in terms of some of the animation. They could have put some more work in that, I think. And the controls are not great, but you know, it's a home version of this. I do believe there was a Super Nintendo version of Smash TV that was a lot better and had some of the sound bites in it, I think. But again, I'm not a big fan of this game, or like the arcade version, so I'm not super familiar with all the different ins and outs of the versions. But I think I saw a version of it that did have the audio. And of course, it being a Midway game, you can get like 1,000,000 different compilations that already have it on there. As well as probably released independently digitally, because Midway was all about just re-releasing all their stuff. Which was good, because it meant that people could get them, although if I recall, the Midway Arcade Origins disc was not very good, which sucks because that's like the only one I have. I know there were 3 Midway arcade discs on the PS2. I have the last one, which was peculiar because the last one was all racing games, but the weird thing was, while they were arcade racing games, they weren't the arcade ports. They were like console ports of the arcade games. It was very peculiar, but that was the only way I ever got a chance to play Hydro Thunder, so I kind of needed it. Now, this guy would be saying something if we're playing a different version, but he's not, so we're going to leave it there. Not bad, not great. Next we have Sylvan Tale. I think this is an RPG, but I might be wrong. It's either an RPG or a shooter. I don't think this was ever officially in English. I think this is a fan translation as well, but I'm not 100% on that. I know Lunar Walking School was absolutely a translated import, though. Now, I'm not sure because I know there was a shooter, I think of a similar name on the Genesis that you could import that was pretty good. Or I'm thinking of a different game entirely, but I think this is either an RPG or a shooter. Yeah, I think this is like a top-down adventure type of thing. I played it a little bit, and then I died on a boss and I kind of gave up. But I remember this game being kind of fun from what little I played it. Okay, let's go. We must collect droplets, because I don't know why. Go find fortresses! Okay, so we gotta go find a face in a rock. Ooh! There's some rockin' music. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a highlight already. It plays rather quickly. The scroll... I mean, look at the southern chunk of the scroll. I don't know if that's, again, just because this is like a weird, vaguely emulated version on the Game Boy Advance or not, but, you know, other than that, this game is pretty rockin'. I picked up cherries, or maybe those are earrings, I'm not sure. But let's get through this forest. The production value on this is quite impressive. Like, you know, aside from the aspect ratio, I think this could genuinely pass for like a Genesis game. I'm genuinely impressed by this. I think I'm gonna have to dig in quite a fair bit into this and maybe make a review in the future, because this game seems really cool. Yeah, it's all sort of flooding back to me. Like, I played pretty much... There's a thing there. If we, I think, had a bomb, we could open it up. Oh no, we need fire or something. Well, maybe we need to talk to someone, figure out how this all works. Give me fire, boy. You keep at it. Literacy is important. Can I talk to you while you're up here? Yes, I can. That's cool. And I didn't even need to Z target and have Navi do a thing for me just to let me do it. Aw. So it's basically a village of children. That's a little sad. Do I have a start button that lets me equip stuff? Okay, we actually do have proper menus. Okay, yeah, see, it's a Japanese map, which tells us very much that this is probably a translated game. It looks mostly translated, but the map screen doesn't seem to be. Also, can we just, for a moment, I'm just gonna be quiet. That is danceable music right there. I am jamming out to this game. This game is cool. Okay, so the hit detection and, like, the depth in this game's a little spotty. But still, I gotta admit, this is a really damn cool game. I think this is gonna be another one of those highlights on this cartridge, along with Lunar Walking School and Fantasy Zone and all the Super Scalar games. I see a face that's on a rock and some switches. And I think this is about where I kind of got wiped last time I played this. Flame Labyrinth, alright. I'm getting some, like, Link's Awakening, Oracle games, sort of flashbacks here. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, I remember this. I didn't get... I think I kind of got stuck here, and then I just sort of ran into a trap and died, I think is what happened. It's all coming back to me now. Adventurer's memory, I guess. Okay, what's this? Do you have to push it? Or pull it? No, but there is like a... Like, that is a pull button. Push does nothing, pull does nothing. Smacking it with my sword does nothing. Okay. Now do I have to... Okay, so I can't put the block over top that to block it and like create some sort of pressure thing. But we can do that. Now what that does for us, I'm not 100% sure, but I will take that as marked progress. And progress is always good. Words have been scratched in the dirt. That crest is my only hope of advancing. Okay. Okay, well, we found a way to shut off one chunk of the flames. I guess we gotta find another way? Maybe there's a thing in another room somewhere? Let's go back. Yeah, I think trying to get that crest was kind of where I stopped, and I ran into a flame trap and died horribly. It was not the most ceremonious of deaths. Alright, there we go. Didn't kill me this time, you stupid flame trap. Whoa, okay, you attack at angles, that's awkward. Big apple. Nice. Those would spew out fire, I would think. Words have been scratched into the dirt. The heat of that passage, could it be related to the flame below? Okay, we turned that off, so I guess we can walk through here now. Okay, we're making progress. I'm getting amped about this. You know what's funny? I'm playing like 5 different RPGs right now and like tempted to do reviews on each and every one of them, but they're huge. And now I just want to review this. Maybe I'll add to the list. Okay, so here's kind of where I got stuck. Yeah, you need the crest to get here. But I don't know how to get the crest because it's on that giant thing of fire. Is there another room we need to go in here? Doesn't look like it. Do we have... Okay, so we've got an apple. That doesn't help us. Do we have magic of any kind? We've got a bunch of clones, it seems. I'm guessing that will be a party of, like, revolving characters that have different abilities. Can I drop down from over here? Yes, I can. Okay. Ah! I just knocked that pillar into place. I think that might have been the secret to my success. Yes, it was! Alright. Let's slam this into place and then move on, I think, but... You know what? I'm definitely getting into this game kind of hardcore. I remember playing this a little bit and being really into it, and now I'm even more so. This game is pretty damn cool. Let's not get flambéed. We're making progress. We don't want to die now. That would just be depressing, to say the least. Alright, so we don't want to fall down those holes this time. I think they could have maybe indicated a little bit better that that was like a pillar you need to slam down. Like, it looked like a thing you had to pull, like a switch or a lever or something. Okay, so we need an item. So let's go to our inventory. Crest. Alright. Oh, we got a boss. Okay, well, hold on. Hold on. Okay. For a second, I thought this was one of those games that wouldn't let you access the menu. We're going to put that in our inventory. Okay, that was a bad idea. So he automatically uses it when it's in his inventory. That's not great. Okay, he attacks kind of at angles, so as long as we pick a rather intelligent way of standing next to him, we can kind of kill him pretty easily. Not a tough fight, just gotta be careful where you stay. Ooh, okay, he's getting a little trickier. Not shooting at angles anymore. He's getting a little faster too, I think. Oh, this hit detection. Boom! That's how we do. We got the droplet. 100 slices, you say? Do I get to throw an apple out in front of me and carve it into bits? Okay, how do I activate 100 slices? Ooh, it's in the character thingy. That's a nice touch. That's progress right there. How do I 100 slices? Okay, so we got a save file that probably won't work on this cartridge. Oh, cool! Button mashing! That's damn cool. Okay, that's Sword Rain Alpha right there. Okay, I am loving that game. On to game number 3, we got Tails Adventure. Now, this is one of 2 Tails games on the Game Gear. The other is Tails Sky Patrol. One of those games is abysmal, and the other is awesome. This is fortunately the fun one. This is a game I really want on the Game Gear. I don't even own a Game Gear, but this is one of the games like I think I absolutely need to have. I played this on Sonic Adventure DX, and it's a non-linear platformer starring Tails. And he gets like armed with like this little robot dog thing that turns into a... Okay, that's... I think I got stuck in that screen. That's okay. We can go again. But it's a non-linear platformer where Tails gets armed with a robot dog thing that turns into a submarine. And he just collects all sorts of really cool tools to advance through this place. His main weapon is like arcing bombs, which is not great. And his flying is a little peculiar. Like, he gets a health bar that lasts for however long he's able to, and you can get things that give him, like, longer flight time, and I think advancing the plot gives him longer flight time as well. The music to this level's tremendous. The sprite work is great. Like, this actually does look like almost a Sonic 3 sprite, although I will say his walking animation's a bit peculiar. And I will say the speed of this game might be a little bit slow for people, but it's definitely like a puzzle-solving non-linear platformer more than, you know, a proper Sonic game. And I mean, that's fine. It's a Tails game. It can be whatever it wants. As long as it's not Tails Sky Patrol, because that is one of the worst games I have ever played. Now, what's really sad is, like, the most common way to get this is, of course, on, I believe Sonic Gems Collection as well as Sonic 3. Or Sonic 3, Sonic Adventure DX. But that version of the ROM is messed up where everything is like darker, like they just put like a really dark filter over everything for some reason. I don't really get it, but we're fighting these robot I almost said dogs, robot ducks that look kind of vaguely like Metal Sonic. And that's kind of what you do in this game. I also remember it taking forever to actually like, okay, there's an updraft so we can't actually fly down here. That's worth note. Oh! Also, our ring counter is our health, so we gotta be careful about that. But the way you gain more flight and stuff really makes me think this is kind of like Gargoyle's Quest in some regards. Can I shove this thing? Oh, I can. Okay, I know where it needs to go then. Please don't kill me. I don't think these guys are actually related to Robotnik in any way either. But I also remember that each area contains, like, secrets and a Chaos Emerald, and grabbing the Chaos Emerald gives you, like, more health and stuff. Oh, this game is fun. This is one of my favorite Game Gear games. Like, I don't have a lot of pleasant Game Gear memories, because, again, I never had one, but I think this is probably a very, very awesome one. And this is one of the few Game Gear games I absolutely want to get. I mean, I kind of want to get Panzer Dragoon, not because I really want it, but because I just want to have every Panzer Dragoon game. Someday I'll get Saga, that's my #1 most wanted game, but, you know, I think Tails Sky Patrol is terrible, but Tails Adventure, the one I meant to say, is one of the best on this system. I'm sure lots of people don't disagree, but it's a very good game, I think. And I think more people need to play it. So go get Sonic Adventure DX and unlock it, although this is like one of the last ones that unlock, if I recall. Now this little here, it's too small for me, but once we get our little robot buddy, he can go through and like scout out things and find free stuff for us, which is pretty cool. But I think you're getting the point of this, and I am running out of time, so we'll probably call it there. Still, Tails Adventure, one of the best Game Gear games, I think. Next we're on to number 4, Ultima IV, by good old Lord British, Richard Garrius. A man I am proud to say once tweeted at me, and I am way too geeked out about that to not be proud of that. But I played a lot of Lord British's games back in the day, all the Ultimas, Alkelabeth. I've got a review on another thing his company made, which was Crusader No Remorse, which was a fun game. And I think right now he's just working on aerospace stuff, which is pretty cool. I know he went to space at one point. In fact, I heard quite a fascinating tale about that, where You know, he was trying to go to space at one point, and, you know, he lost all his money at one point, so he just decided to make it all back, you know, like you do. I'm totally jealous he actually has money, and I don't. Show compassion and his pain, because I'm a nice person. Merchant friend, something something long past due. Honestly, return the purse. I'd like to think I'm a good person, and I would do that. Humility or valor? Oh, that's tricky, because I am a very humble point to the point where I'm self-deprecating, but I do like valor. I would help, I think. Okay. So I think they're sort of like judging your morality so far. A gypsy places 2 or more cards upon the table. You're a bounty hunter sworn to return the alleged murderer after his capture, though he believes him to be innocent. Sacrifice a sizable bounty for thy belief, or honor thy oath and return him as you promised. Well, that's tough. See, if he's actually innocent, given that this is sort of like old-timey, you know, Dark Ages stuff, they'll probably just kill him anyway. Screw it, I'll sacrifice the bounty because I'm a good person. Okay. I will say this is not a great way to start a game. It's intriguing, and it's fascinating how they're kind of judging you over it, but it's a very slow way, and it's not the most interesting. Okay. Okay, aid a wounded companion, or sacrifice yourself to slow the pursuing enemy so others can escape. I'd probably do that. I'm gonna select that one. I don't even know what it says. Something truthfully. And now it's top down, and this reminds me immediately of the original tremendous Civilization game, which I still own a boxed copy of. Unfortunately, I've forgotten how to control it on very old computers, so I basically just park level 1 cavemen on my town, and they fight tanks for me. And they win! Just because I can make so many so fast. The bigger issue is that, I can't advance anywhere. Oh, you ain't getting away from me, Mr. Troll. Can I cast a spell? I have no mixtures. Well. Whoa, okay, we got a teleporter. Cool. Yeah, I used to play all these Ultima games back in the day on my uncle's old computer. Armor weaponry. Again, I don't think we'll be playing this for very long. I do have to finish this like whole thing up rather quickly, but it's an RPG. It's complicated. I'm honestly, even though I like these old games, the Ultima games specifically, I don't think it's as... Oh, let's not step on spikes. I've been doing a lot of that. I'm actually stuck right now. That's not good. Well, I'm about to die, so there. I like these games, but honestly, I want to go back to Sylvan Tale, honestly. Okay, and now we are on to number 5, Wonderboy, which, if you've ever gotten an NES, you might recognize as Meijin Takahashi no Bokenjima, or Adventure Island, starring the legendary Master Takahashi himself. Except he had different colored hair and a hat, and that's how you can tell he meant business. How do I... Okay, so I need to... How do I jump higher? Down, up... I don't know how to make that high jump. I'm not familiar with the SMS Wonderboy. This is actually like the original thing that Adventure Island was based off of. That was a reskin of this, of course, starring the president of Hudson at the time. I miss Hudson. They were a company that did good things, and now they got eaten by Konami. And they just ruin everything because Konami. It makes me sad. And I can't even show half their games because I'll get sued by Konami. Alas. Okay, well I can't do the high jump because, I don't know, I'm pressing up, I'm holding the button down longer, pressing both buttons. Ooh! There we go. I guess it's a speed thing? Okay. Oh, I have to hold the weapon attack, and in doing so, that speeds me up. There should be a secret around here we're not going to get because we're on a skateboard. This is not a bad game. It's not a game I like. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Adventure Island games, least of all the first one. But, you know, it's more of that thing that I think people find very nostalgic, and honestly, I don't. There are a couple Adventure Island games I really like, but it's the ones... it's like 2 and 3 and 4, and like the ones that are kind of like non-linear platformers. Also, we lost our progress, so I'm done. I think you get what this is. I don't really care to spend more time on it, honestly. I just want to go back to Sylvan Tale, honestly. But based on these past 5 games, would I recommend it? Well, Super Smash TV is not great, honestly. It kind of works, but I don't think it's enjoyable. Sylvan Tale is one of the best games on this thing, I think, so far. Tales Adventure, same thing. It's one of the best Game Gear games. Ultima, if I sat down and actually sunk a lot of time into it, which I, of course, can't do given the format of this, I would enjoy this a lot more. And Wonderboy is basically Adventure Island. If you're into that, you'll like this. But there's no Master Higgins or Meijin Takahashi, who was a real person, who is kind of legendary in Japan. So, you know, it's not the best version of it, as far as I'm concerned. But based on these past 5, yes. I think the only game not worth it really is Super Smash TV. And, I mean, I guess you could... I guess you could argue that's a taste thing more than anything. But the other 4 were pretty fun. Ultima, I don't think is as good as Tales Adventure or Sylvan Tale, but Wonderboy is a classic, and this is like the only home port of actual Wonderboy on a console, anyway. But either way, join me when we play more Wonderboy, but they're the sequels. And I've got some weird anecdotes for Wonderboy because it's a peculiar series. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, subscribe to the show to see more, because we do this every single week, and we are getting close to the end. Next is going to be the last episode spoilers. So I hope you've been enjoying this, and we'll do more in the future. We already have a huge 400 game NES cart already in the series, so go take a look at that as well. And you might want to check out and subscribe to my Twitch stream to see more stuff that I do, because I stream every day. Usually Animal Crossing, but other stuff. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my ability, which in this case is play some remarkably kick-ass SMS and Game Gear games. Seriously, Sylvan Tale? That right here might be the reason to own this cartridge. And we already had a few. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Peace out, Internet!